7th. Why don't we go into the first item first? Mr. CLA, are there any continuances or consent items?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair. Rafael Bray, the CLA's office. We'd like to recommend on consent item number 7, which is a report on the status of the Bradley Landfill, the Community Trust Fund. It's an annual report submitted by the clerk. And we got a request, I believe, from Council District 7 to continue item number 8 for 2 weeks and put the appropriate item on.
Okay, great.
That would leave items 1 through 6.
All right, let's go back to 1.
Item number 1, DWP report requesting authority to execute amendment number 1 to an existing contract with Patent Energy Enterprises. We'd also like to recommend that you consider this one jointly with item number 2, which is with Falcon Fuels, a similar contract agreement in similar circumstances.
That'll be fine.
Move approval.
Okay. Is that you want to go? Yeah, you gotta go.
No, I'm just
Okay, let me
move approval.
Okay, let me just ask one question. We can cut to the chase. You don't have to go through the whole report. The contract funds ran out on this early, right?
Correct.
During the agreement period. Was this a result of escalating fuel prices, or did the contract not account for any sort of need for a contingency?
Well, it was 2 issues. One, the escalating fuel prices that we all suffered, and 2, we had some additional construction jobs that had started up within the department that required additional fuel also. So when you add the 2 together, it's expended.
But were they part of the same contract?
Well, there's 2.
2 contracts, all right, so
Correct.
you're talking about 1 and 2 together, okay, great. All right, now, just tell me this, what's the corrective action that the department has taken to ensure that this scenario does not occur again?
What we've done is, instead of waiting for reports to come back, after payments made out of basically our accounting system, we put in a process now where we're tracking our purchases and usage on a daily basis, because our contracts now are based on a daily OPUS price. And so now every time we place an order, we can actually extract those funds out of that contract on a daily basis. So we have projections now when.
Okay, and then who's the one who sounds the alarm if you go over your threshold? What's
me.
your monitoring system and what's your oversight?
That's done in the computer system. When we place the order, all that tracking is done electronically, and we get automatic emails that come out of there that tells you at what percentage of contract expenditures.
And then who makes the decision to, hold the line,
That
slow
would be
down?
me.
That would be you?
Yes.
Okay. And just for the record, tell me your name again?
Peter Suterko.
Okay, great. And did you want to add anything to that?
No, we do concur with the actions of the department.
All right. And your name and your position?
Bill Kreitz with the CAO's office.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Alarcon has moved on 1 and 2, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, without objection. We have to wait,
Yeah,
without
hold them.
recommendation. So
Hold them until you get a quorum? Okay.
see if somebody else shows up. All right, number 3.
Item number 3, DWP report requesting approval of a 1-year extension to existing contract with TMC for the upgrade of turbine generator at the Castaic Power Plant.
Move approval.
You're funny today.
That's how we do it in Sacramento.
Well, we're not in Sacramento. I guess I'm here. I like being here. I don't know that I like the way the things go in Sacramento, Just give me, but, because you're here, and I appreciate you, unlike some of our other friends, I'm going to try to work with you on this. All right.
Okay,
So
great.
give me a synopsis.
John,
Go ahead.
John Dennis with the City of LA Department of Water and Power on our project management. This is for an extension of time only of 1 year. We have this particular contract allows for some large machining of work of the units that are at our generating station at Castaic for 3 units. During the time of this 3-year contract that we had another unit, not related to this contract, but a unit had a failure, and we had to do major work, and so we had to extend the time for this
Is that
contract.
because your staffing was diverted to the other unit, but not because?
It's not because of the staffing issue, but because of we only want to have one of these units out at any given time, and so that unit had the priority, so we deferred this other work on this particular unit until this year.
Okay,
So it's an extension of just 1 year that we moved over because we lost that outage season. Each unit takes 1 year to do.
now, Was the funding under the initial contract sufficient to cover the cost of
Yes.
repairing? Okay. so
There's no additional money.
There's no fiscal issue here.
That's
There's no money
correct.
issue here.
Just an
All right.
extension of time.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, did you identify yourself for the record?
I'm John Dennis, yes,
From?
from LADWP.
Okay. All right. Again.
Recommend approval as well? Hold until
Yeah.
you get a
Or-
quorum.
No, why don't we move it without recommendation and? 'cause-
Communication from the chair?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
If somebody happens to get here before 9:30, then,
Sure.
well, yes, okay.
Okay.
All right.
You want to wait and go through the record, or? Okay.
1 through 3. We've got, Ms. Brule has arrived, so items 1 through 3, unless... Are you okay on those?
Yep.
She said
Okay.
yes.
You said yes? Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank
All right,
you.
Item number 4.
Item number 4,
Okay.
Board of Public Works report, requesting authority to accept funding from the California Integrated Waste Management Board to maintain local used oil and used oil filter collection and recycling programs.
Move approval.
Wait, I was going to say, let him sit down first.
No,
Give him that one. Okay.
this is easy. This is money.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but, okay, is this one of the items where you wanted to have, you're going to come back on a regular basis and talk to us as opposed to blanket,
Yeah, well, there's 2 items before you. One is to accept, Dan Myers with the Bureau of Sanitation. The item number 4 is to accept funds for the 14th cycle used oil block grant.
number 6, right?
And then there's item number 5, which is to get permission from council to apply for block grants for years 09, 10, 10, 11, and 11 and 12.
Not this one. Right. Okay, great. Number 4, unless people have comments or questions on number 4, without objection, I'd like to move that one forward. I had concerns about 5 and 6.
Okay, well, happy to answer any questions for 5.
Questions, concerns on 4? Nope, nope. We'll do it now.
Move approval.
Thank you. Okay, all right. 5 and 6.
Okay, item number 5.
5, let's just do 5.
Okay, they're up here anyways. Board of Public Works report, requesting authority to submit applications to the same agency for the same program for fiscal years 09 through 10, 10, 11, and 2011 through 12.
The reason I wanted to just run this by you is because by giving blanket approval and not having you come back to committee, I feel is an abdication of our responsibilities as a committee, even though it is authority to submit applications, which is a good thing to seek funding. But I know that in the past I've had pretty vigorous discussions with sanitation and generally with the Department of Public Works on outreach and applying for funding and how that either benefits or goes to the benefit of some of the districts in the southern part of the city, and particularly in skirting what I feel are deeper needs for outreach, education, and I would like to see it just come back on an annual basis. So I'd be willing to, grant authority, but have you come back, not in a blanket way, and just have you come back on a regular basis. So unless there's some compelling reason why you need to have it from 2009 to 2012 without coming to the committee and at least discussing it on the record, I don't really see why we should do that, and I certainly wouldn't vote for that.
Good morning. My name is Farouk Osman. I work with Bureau of Sanitation. Once we receive the application for block grants, we only have a month to submit this application. If we did not submit the application within a month, we may lose the grant.
Okay, now that's okay, but you're asking for all the way up to 2012.
Correct. We are asking for permission to submit application. Once the application has been accepted, we will come back to the committee and the city council to request approval to sign a contract with the state to accept the funds.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, because again, this doesn't make sense, this 1 month thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. We're talking about all the way up to 2012, so, if you wanted to plan ahead, you've got plenty of time. So, we could approve 29 to 2010 now, and then obviously, once you get accepted, you'll come back before you sign, and we'll discuss it. Then you're still way ahead of your schedule on 2010 to 2011, and you're really way ahead of 2011 to 2012. So again, I don't understand. I mean, that logic makes some sense on 29 to 2010, but it really doesn't make any sense in terms of 2010 to 2011, 2011 to 2012. What you just said doesn't make sense as it applies for the subsequent years, because you're way ahead of schedule anyway, and you've got plenty of time. And it's not that I'm trying to be, pick you to death or micromanage, because I'm not, but I do feel very strongly that, we need to remind the department on a regular basis of the need to do very significant and deep outreach into the respective communities that we represent, to make sure that as you submit applications for these grant programs, particularly an area like mine relies very, very heavily on recycling oil, local used oil, oil filtering, because that people dump very heavily their car oil into the sewage system. So for me, it's imperative, and I'm sure for some of the other districts also. So we just do this blanket approach. I don't know that we'll be able to push you, particularly, well, it gets to 2012, but after 2013, some of us are going to be terming out, and then nobody will be here, and it'll start all over again.
I think this is acceptable.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful.
Just to
Okay, it's like we just had a conversation. Well, I'm going to vote no, okay? Then I'll vote no. Okay, that's cool. Because you didn't answer, you didn't really respond to my concern.
Can we approve it for 2009, 2010?
We agreed to do it your way.
Did you agree that we'll do 29 to 2010 and then delete 2010 to 2011 and 2011 to 2012?
Correct.
Did you agree to do that?
That is
All right,
acceptable.
now do I need to make a motion to remove that? And then
No,
just-
you'll make that the action of the committee, and we could work that out through the communication from the
So
clerk.
the action is
Fine.
relative to the recycling
All right.
program for fiscal years
29,
09 10.
All right, now you can do it. Do it.
No, I'm opposed now.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just kidding. Approval.
All right, fine. This is his, okay, thank you. Now, 6, and it's the last one, so you can kind of,
Yeah,
you can,
approval.
okay. Let him get to the chair first.
EAD report relative to the authority to apply for grant funding offered by the Carl Moyer Program, Mobile Source Air Pollution Reduction Review Committee, and related funding sources. We have staff from EAD.
All right,
Good morning, Craig Tranby, Environmental Affairs.
okay.
We're requesting, it's our annual kind of blanket approval for an annual permission on several different grant programs through the AQMD. I understand you had a few.
How much money are you going to apply for?
This year, we think maybe $3 million.
Can I? what's
$3
your name?
million.
What's your name?
Heloise Froelich, Environmental Affairs Department, Environmental Supervisor.
Okay, I didn't really hear any of that.
I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this better?
Yeah,
Okay.
better.
This year, we plan to apply for about $3 million worth of mobile source air pollution reduction grants.
It's mobile source air.
Air pollution reduction.
I just wanted you to say that so it can get recorded. Okay, great. Mr. Cardenas.
Yeah, when we apply for these funds, do our proprietary departments apply separately, or we apply as a one city entity?
It depends on the grant. Sometimes we have several different departments applying for one grant. Sometimes we apply on behalf of departments, and sometimes they will apply themselves, and we just assist with the application.
Okay, so the state allows our proprietaries to go ahead, like the port or the airport or DWP, to apply separately
They do,
if they have a need or something that they feel they qualify for, and they can compete for those grant funds, correct?
yes, they can apply separately.
Okay. Anybody know what the amount that's in the Carl Moyer Fund that is eligible right now for throughout the state for people to apply for?
It depends on what program it is, but usually they have at least $1 million to $2 million locally to distribute.
You mean that we can go after as a city, or just for local governments in general?
Local governments in general and other applicants as well.
1 to 2 million?
Yes, through the South Coast Air Quality Management District.
And we're applying for how much?
Well, it's hard to say. The solicitations haven't come out yet, but One of the grant programs that we have in mind is the off-road vehicle. It's a pollution control retrofit device that we have to apply for this year. It's a mandatory grant program that GSD and BOS have to apply for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right, without objection, move that for approval. This brings us to the end of the agenda and to the public comment section for items that are not agendized. And I have one card from Mr. Fred Muir. Mr. Muir.
Good morning. My name is Fred Muir, and I'm here today representing the Step Up Coalition, which is a group of utilities, environmentalists, fire safety advocates, and others who support the adoption of clean electric transformer technology. Step Up advocates for the adoption of a proven transformer coolant material, FR3, which is biodegradable, sustainable, and with a smaller carbon footprint than existing and aging technology, transformer technology used by the LADWP and many other utilities around the country. As you know, there is increasing focus on finding alternatives to petroleum-based transformer coolants that are now in use because they are both toxic and non-sustainable. The existing transformer technology...
There's just too much ambient. This room, the acoustics in this room are bad enough. So just give him his time, and then it's just hard to hear in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know Vox in the back. You can throw him out in the hallway. Okay, thank you. Go ahead now.
The existing transformer technology used at the DWP is also prone to failure and fires in high heat conditions. In fact, there are several hundred fires a year in Los Angeles, according to the fire department, that result from LADWP transformer failures, and that leads to costly blackouts and dangerous situations for LADWP employees, firefighters, and city residents. This happens in every council district in the city. We appreciate this committee's ongoing interest in FR3 technology and your motion from March of this year calling on the LADWP to study the use of FR3 and report back in 6 months. I wanted to report today that as a result of this committee's recommendation, the Step Up Coalition had a successful meeting with LADWP Director of Engineering Marvin Moon and his technical team over the summer, in which we discussed the use of FR3 and the many benefits that this soy-based coolant for transformers can provide. As you know, the LADWP has had a limited experiment with FR3 technology for some time. Our meeting with Mr. Moon and his technical staff was an important step in this process and was hopefully just the beginning of a continuing dialogue leading to the adoption of an FR3 standard and its use at the LADWP. In our meeting, the Step Up team was able to show how scores of progressive utilities around the country are using FR3 routinely in real-world conditions for years. A representative of the Sacramento Municipal Utility District was also able to lay out the financial analysis that his utility performed and how they concluded that FR3, in addition to being a superior technology, was also more cost-effective. We know that this committee, along with LADWP CEO David Nahai, the Board of Commissioners, and Mayor Villaraigosa have laid out an ambitious program to transform the LADWP into one of the leading green utilities in the nation and one of the best run. Incorporating this biodegradable, sustainable, non-toxic FR3 material into the LADWP's transformer program could immediately improve the LADWP's total carbon footprint, reduce fire danger, and lower long-term costs. The LADWP replaces hundreds, even thousands of transformers every year. FR3 could begin making a difference today. We thank you for your interest in Step Up, and we look forward to seeing the LADWP's report to this committee later this month. We'd appreciate an opportunity to brief any of your committee members, and I have copies of the presentation that we made to the LADWP. For your
Has the report been scheduled yet? Is it in the hopper yet?
We have not scheduled it yet, but we could work with
Okay.
staff to...
Let's go ahead and do that then, because it's been, what did you say, February?
March.
March, okay, yeah. It's time for them to come back in. Okay, thank you very much. Without any further ado, no one else is coming forward. The meeting is adjourned.